Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and a series of videos on iRacing in the Ferrari GT3 Challenge Series. Today we're at Spa for week 9. I'm annoyed with myself here for the poor start as I really wasn't on it and I kept trapped behind the blue car here, but the plan is just to survive the first corner without incident. I briefly think about following the blue car to the left of this slow moving car in front, but think better of it to just hug the inside knowing there'll be 10 or 12 other cars trying to go around the outside. We survive and after avoiding the blue spinning car, we're a single file heading up to Rouge and Radion. Now safely through that for the first time and we get a good run down the straight. The red car up ahead on the right looks like he's suffering a slowdown penalty and we gain a position straight away. Now Spa is a track I know well, I'm quite confident around, so I'm hoping for a more productive week of racing here. And a good track to put all the tips I've got for you guys into practice. And the first one is going to be being less defensive and dominating the track more. Although in doing so in this corner here, I think I touched this car in front ever so slightly. I don't get an instant point for it, but just back out just to make sure that if I have punted him wide, I'm not going to impede him in doing so and take a position kind of unfairly. But he gets a poor run out of this corner, so I'm going to go for it down this straight here. I've got a much better run. I'm just going to sort of send it down the inside, giving him plenty of space. Make sure I don't understeer wide, but he gives me room as well, and we're getting the position there. So 2 positions gained straight away, and I think that kind of makes up for the slightly poor start and what I lost in the first corner. This guy here just checks up a bit more than I was expecting to, but we managed to avoid any incidents. There's some more work to be done here through these corners coming up to be consistent, and I think this improves over the course of the race. There's some slight differences from GT7, which is what I've been racing on for a long time. You see some of the track limits are different as well, so getting used to being able to run much wider on some of the corners in this, and there'll obviously be no run off on the right hand side here, having to take this line much tighter. Just run a little bit wide here because that red car sort of threw a bit of a dummy up the inside, so we take the off track, but only one so far. And just take it nice and carefully through this last corner, making sure that all the cars don't come together. And weirdly, I'm not sure why those 2 cars in front pitted, no idea why. I checked out the replay, couldn't see any obvious incidents in the first lap, so a bit of a mystery really, but we're up to P4 now at this point. So the keen-eyed amongst you will notice that thanks to the fact that I'm using RaceLabs software now, that I did in fact manage to level up the Class C at the end of last week, although there was a technical glitch in the recording which meant the video was unusable, so unfortunately I don't have that video to show you, but we move on. And what that does mean is now I'm reached Class C, I need a new name for these series of videos. It can't be Journey to Class C anymore, it needs to be something else. If you've got any ideas, please drop them in the comments below. So, into lap 2 now, we're just getting tucked up behind these 2 cars in front. We're a bit too far back on this straight to really cause any issues, but the white guy then runs wide, so I think, well, you know what, I'm going to take a dive up the inside. Managed to make it stick, no contact, nice and clean, and through up into P3. So this corner here is an example of where the track limits differ significantly to GT7. I know I can run much wider here, so I just need to get that line right. And also coming up towards P1 here, the green curbing around the outside normally means death on GT7, whereas on here it's quite grippy, so I need to work on pushing harder here as well, so more to come on that. But we seem to be closing up nicely on this pink car, certainly through this last sector we seem to be much quicker through here than him, so just trying to make sure towards the back end of the lap we get nice and close to him, so that as we enter what will be lap 3 that we're nice and close for a run down the kennel on him. So again, I turn in slightly early here and take too much the inside curb, which kind of knocks me back a little bit from this guy in front, lose a bit of time, which is rather annoying as I was gaining on him and probably going to be in a good position for a pass in the next lap. So I get a nice good exit out of this last corner. I'm much closer to him now.
now in third.
So we had a decent drive out of turn 1, so let's see what we can do down the Camel Straight this time. Flat through here, and we've got a good run down the straight, and we're definitely gaining on him. Clearly we're not quite close enough on this lap, and it's annoying because we close right back up to this guy through this first sector and start feeling like I'm probably losing time now. Getting worried that if I don't get past him that the 2 cars behind are going to catch us, and then I'll get drawn into a 4-way fight, which I want to avoid. So starting to plan how to make sure at the back end of this next lap that I am much closer so that we can get a good run on him down the straight into the next lap. Guys, if you are enjoying this video, please do give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more VR content from iRacing, Gran Turismo 7 and Assetto Corsa Evo when it's released. I also have a review of the PSVR 2 and iRacing coming, and the LMP3 series, so do subscribe if you don't want to miss those. Annoyingly here I'd probably get too good a drive out this corner and end up having to back off a little bit going through this here, which allows him to escape really. If I'd have probably just been a bit smoother onto the throttle and or planned that a bit better, I might have had a good run down this back straight at him, but as it is, he gets away. So we managed to make up loads of time under braking into the final chicane, get a really good drive out last corner. Now the gap's down to 0.2 of a second, so much closer for looking like executing our plan down the Camel Straight in the next lap. Briefly think about having a slight move down the inside, but think better of it as he comes back across the track. But now we come out of the first corner with a really good run, only 0.3 of a second back this time, which is closer than last time. As we expected though, the cars behind have closed up massively due to being held up by this guy, so really have to make a move stick this lap, otherwise I am going to get under pressure the next lap by them. So you can see he's gaining on him, gaining, just thinking, is this going to be close enough? So I just move out a little bit just to kind of show my intent, and to be fair, he kind of backs out, gives me room, he's aware that I'm there, and I managed to make a pass stick cleanly around the outside. He also loses the place to the white car as well. It's now time to push though, as this white car we know was faster than him as well, so likely on a similar pace to what I'm running, or possibly even faster, so we don't want to get drawn back into that. So time to make sure I nail this lap and try and break the toe to the car behind.
You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 7.9 seconds.
So with the last few laps being stuck behind the pink car, the guy in front has managed to get a fairly commanding lead, so I don't think we're going to be looking at catching that. So I think, you know, the plan for this race is now the whole P2. I keep looking down loads at the split just to make sure that I am pulling away from this guy slightly, or at least holding him there, because whilst I've got Race Labs on the screen here, I haven't got Race Labs working with the VR headset. I'm not sure if it's possible. It seems like it should be, but as of yet I've not found a way to do it, and I'm not, to be honest, too fussed, because whilst I'm on an Oculus Quest 2 at the moment, I've got a PSVR 2 as well, and I've got the adapter sat in front of me. I'm just waiting for a DisplayPort cable to be able to run it. So I'm going to be changing VR headset as of this next race. So hopefully some beautiful OLED graphics for my next videos. So look out for that. So we've got ourselves 0.6 of a second gap to the car behind. So we know from our experience that that is enough to not be caught by the car that's slipstreaming you down the straight here, so we can just relax and take normal racing lines and try and extend out further through this first sector. So I'm feeling much more confident in this car this week, and also it does help that the track I'm very comfortable on. But my goal for getting Class C was to start racing the LMP3 series alongside this one, so on achieving the Class C I did have a go at that. And there is a video to follow this one of my experience in that. I won't spoil the video, but let's just say it was eye-opening. They're very tricky beasts. But I think, you know, doing a decent effort in them this week as well, I think it's helped my driving overall, trying to get to grips with them. But this car is ABS, so it's a much easier car to handle. There's still loads to work on, and I know several of you commented on the trail braking more and steering less, which I am working on, but it hasn't quite stuck. And under pressure in the heat at the moment, I'm still defaulting to my usual style mainly, so that's going to take plenty of work in the practice lobbies to generate the muscle memory to make that consistent.
You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 7.8 seconds.
Now I think 7.8 seconds was the same as the previous lap, so we're certainly not losing any ground on P1, but the gap behind the P3 is still only 0.6, so he's definitely keeping us honest for sure.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
So gap behind is 1.1, so no pressure down the straight here, and in fact we were actually a tenth quicker than P1 in the last lap. Unlikely to make up 7.5 seconds in the last 2 laps, but we should definitely be able to hold P2 here, which would be the best finish since leaving the rookies. Guys, if you do have any tips or tricks or advice for me racing the Ferrari GT3 here, or just tips for Spa in general, then please do leave them in the comments below. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. Thanks.
You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 8.4 seconds.
So definitely not reeling in P1 then, that's for sure. But we do have a 1.3 second cushion to P3, and we know that P4 is right behind him, so all we have to do is not do anything stupid in the last lap to secure P2.
The leader is running 19.943. You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 9.4 seconds.
So just one more braking marker to hit. And we avoid that as a squabbling a bit behind. Try not to spin out in the last corner, because that'd be embarrassing. And we manage it. Over the line, P2, so that's our best result ever in iRacing since leaving the rookies. If you have enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and as always, any comments or tips from me, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks, see you again.
Solid work.